boom, beginning of the session. Alright then, so what had happened last session was your fighter Minotaur got downed because of their grung swamping. All the poison got at them and completely annihilated them. And in a last-ditch effort, Stormfang, your guide, soon turned a tiger as a sort of lycanthropath, then suddenly said that she would be taking your friend to an old woman called Mumbala over to the west. And if we're looking at the player's map at Chult, you can see that she is located over there. Mumbala is known as a crazy necromantic witch doctor who apparently has powers to bring people back from the dead. But yeah, there then is the small matter of what you guys are going to do. You believe you're not far off from Mesro, but now you have an urgent calling to try and catch up with your friend over in Mumbala. This also means crossing the Aldani Basin.
Okay, well, we still had a plan to go to Mesro since we're only really a square away.
I mean, yes, but at the same time, your friend is on the verge of dying. I will happily let you go to Mesro, but keep in mind that you are taking a side trek from immediately rushing to your friend. But yeah, Mesro is pretty close. At least you believe so.
Well, I recall our guide saying that she would take care of this.
Well, I mean, yes, but it takes a long time to get to Mumbala. From the rough area you are, it would take you 18 to 16 days worth of traveling. Then that's fighting through undead and all the rest of it. But no, yeah, it could well be done. It's just a matter of what you guys choose to do.
Yeah, I think we had talked about basically scouting out Mesro and then canoeing to that the port Castiguar, and then finding a way back.
Alright, so basically your journey takes you further away from Mumbala. Is it right to presume that you guys don't particularly have an interest in catching up with your fighter anytime soon?
Oh, a matter of time.
But the problem is, if we go that way, like, isn't it faster to go, like, get a ship and then go around and then go through the river rather than trying to go through the jungle and potentially all of us dying?
Very variable. Very variable.
We have no guide either, though, so there's chances
very
of getting
true.
lost.
You are without a guide. And by the way, just to make things easier on you guys, I will allow you a small little token that you can use to keep track of where you are, or at least where you think you are. And I'm going to bring that down here. And who shall be in charge of the token?
I think our ranger would be the best idea.
Okay then. Control by. I'll put it as all players. There we go. That works. So right by huts. Would everyone like to give that little party hexagon a little move around and see if it responds? Yeah, brilliant. So, I am not responsible for where that hex is. That is up to you guys. This is very important.
Okay, so as a ranger with the natural explorer feat, our group cannot become lost except by magical means.
That's true. But there is also the case of you just not knowing where you are. I mean, especially in this map, you don't magically know it. There is all those hexagons that are uncharted territory. If you are in a town that you are familiar with, then you would not be lost because you can always find your way back via certain key locations. in this current area that's marked up on the map, you cannot be lost. You at least know where you are, but if for whatever reason you seem to not keep track as a ranger of where you are on the map, and you let yourself negligate your duties of guiding the party through this forest, then you're at least going to have to take some time to recover where you sidetracked from. So, while I have to say, yeah, you're quite right, you cannot be lost, you can certainly neglect your duties of tracking where you are, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So still be vigilant. And where you are in the pale hexes is something you do have to mark out. But yeah. Anyway, that covers that. So then, party's course of action. What do you guys do?
Alright, I'm thinking we want to still scout Mesro and maybe regroup at Port Castigliar.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
I mean, this way you can get yourself right to the coastline, and you can just follow that upwards. So that should be an easy trek to get yourself back to some sort of civilization. So that's a reasonable enough approach. So yeah, fair enough. So, you guys move away from the huts and what have you, and you camp outside of Mesro. Mesro seems to be not too far away, you imagine, but you're in no particular rush, it seems. You're just like camping the night here, and you're taking your time to make sure you're not ambushed by more things, because the last grung attempt had you pretty messed up.
It's very bad.
Yeah. But you guys still feel stronger for the experience, at least. And you feel a bit more well-travelled now for it.
So we do get a long rest then?
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. I mean, yeah, especially after you travel, you long rest, yeah. Because what we dealt with when you guys had that fight with the grungs is that that was the third encounter of the day, so you would have had a long rest, you would have had a relatively peaceful next day travel, and now we're at the evening with you just outside of Mesro's territory. Now then, so who is on watch now? Like as a party watch or camp watch?
I can do it.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, we'll leave it to the druid. So, Miss Druid, as you are taking first watch, with the night coming around you guys, you can first make me a perception check. Brilliant. So first, you can make out a few very faint bits of light dotting through the canopy that hints at Mesro not being entirely uninhabited. Believes that someone is there with campfires. Fairly large ones for you to see at this distance, but also your animal-esque traits give you a little bit of a keen advantage. Now, what's more, you happen to see a bloodied halfling rushing through the forestry in a dazed panic. It seems like they're going to cross, not your camp, but just a little bit from it. You imagine it wouldn't be too difficult to cut their path and stop them and try to calm them down and figure out what happened.
I would like to try and catch up with them.
So like I say, you don't even need to catch up. You just know that they're going to be like underfoot. So like, I imagine that you are getting yourself comfy between the branches, which gives you like a good region to look through. And you can see that soon a frantic little halfling is going to rush underneath you. So you imagine that you get down and you just get in their way to catch them. They seem in a very
Okay.
blind hurry.
I'll say, ahoy there. Do you need help?
Oh, yes, yes, please.
What happened to you?
A T-Rex, an undead T-Rex has just killed my whole party.
Oh no, how far away was that?
I have no idea. I've been running for hours.
Come into our camp and we can help you.
Thank you.
So, just to explain what had happened with your team, you had decided not to get a guide, as 5 gold pieces a day seemed pretty costly to you and your group. So, you thought, you would just be cheap, keep profits at a high, you'd be good to go. Can't be any more dangerous than the north. You were sadly mistaken, as one of your team went mad from a particularly weird mist that had them incoherent, and then just as you were trying to take care of him, it was then that a large zombie Tyrannosaurus Rex took one of the attendants to your friend and snapped him up in one bite. You were then fleeing as these strangely coloured flowers kept nipping at you and scraping at you with poison and stinging vines. But you were agile and small enough to be able to make your way out of there. But you don't know the general direction that you've been fleeing. All that you know was that your team was more northwest, and you've been heading the opposite direction since.
That's kind of the direction we came from. We ran into them.
Australian, you're still sleeping.
I've long awakened since then.
Yeah, your halfling friend does bring up quite a bit of commotion as
So we're all awake now?
yeah, I think so. They are shaky, panicked. The jungle is much bigger for this little halfling, it seems, than they may have first thought their chances of surviving it would be. And they are pretty bruised and beaten up, though still with the majority of their equipment. Though they didn't take the same precautions as you. They are minus a rain catcher, and they don't have anything in the way of insect repellent, and you can only imagine the kind of beetles and insects they will have tried to have eaten to get their way to this point. So they have no rations on their person.
I will assess her injuries to see if she needs any healing.
So give me a medicine check.
Trying to figure out how to do it?
No, just making a inspection over her.
No, I was asking.
Oh, excuse me. Is your halfling's a lady, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah. So your medicine check tells you that they aren't actually that bruised up. They were hurt a little bit, but most of it was recovered during the night.
You're fine. Just walk it off.
But they are exhausted from their own anxiety and panic to the point where they're at 2 points of exhaustion, so they do need some rest. So not good to walk it off.
Okay, and here's my plan. We have a ranger that's pretty stealthy. Is there another character in here that's pretty stealthy? Okay, so we have
this would be the druid.
Yeah, I can be stealthy, or I could change into something stealthy.
Well, I definitely can't be stealthy because of my heavy armor. But so I'm thinking if we're almost within sight of these fires, we can, while she is resting, we can go ahead and have a couple people go up and stealth and kind of check out and see if they can't get some kind of read on what's going on in that direction.
So your best person for that job would likely be the ranger.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we'll do then.
But it's always good to have a backup.
This would be good. This would be good chance for her to get some rest and hopefully get rest in that exhaustion.
Okay then. Ooh. Pardon me.
You, Ranger.
Yeah, I'll go scout it out. It's what I do.
All right then. So, you approach the former city of Mesro. What you see as you get closer is that the place is in absolute, complete, and total ruins. There doesn't seem to be much in the way of a still standing building, and it seems as though that whatever civilization formerly used to be here is now long departed. But when you get up to it, you see a bunch of people that are currently getting a sort of lecture from what you can imagine as some sort of drill sergeant. Do you care to listen in?
Yeah, I'll use a perception check.
Yeah. Okay, that's good perception. So, conversation goes a little bit like this from the drill sergeant. Right then, we have scattered around these ruins a majority of small little bundles of sacks of sand, that you are to collect. Consider each sack a form of golden or magical item, something of value. The more you bring back in the shortest time, the sooner you go to sleep. Otherwise, you'll be at this all night if you have to. Hop to it! And he commands them, and they soon flee. What you notice, out of interest, is that these guys are in light clothing, not armed for anything particular, and armed with wooden swords, while their insignias bear a fist that's coated and sheathed in fire.
Do I know what that sigil is?
Make a history check. Okay, there we go. I didn't hear a bing. So you're not totally familiar with what that sigil means.
Okay. What about there were like lights or fires? Is that like fires around them? So
yeah, that is. They have a few torches between them. One per two people, it seems, as they seem to be in groups of two. And there is like a main bonfire, and there are fires scattered around the place, including a few thinly spaced scouts and guards patrolling the perimeter of Mesro, which happens to be quite large. But yeah, there seems to be a majority of people with torches here.
Okay, roughly speaking, how many guards am I observing? Like, are we talking like 30 guards or like just a handful?
So whatever amount of guards you believe is right to see in a Lara Croft game for ruins is about right, or maybe something from Uncharted. But the city of Mesro seems totally occupied by these dudes and nothing but these dudes. They seem relatively thinly spaced and then concentrated in certain areas, but it seems as though the whole city of Mesro, former city of Mesro, is held by these dudes, as they have taken control of these ruins.
Okay. Can I pull out something to sketch what that symbol looks like? The fist with fire.
I mean, that pretty much is describing the image at all. Okay. But
his idea is to show it to us so that we can see if we recognize it.
Oh, absolutely. But do you have anything in the way of paper, Mr. Ranger?
I don't know. I have a Dungeoneer's pack.
and when I open it, it doesn't quite say what's inside of it.
It has chalk.
Let me look here.
30 theft to vote, war skin, 10 days rations, which I can see you haven't. Well, you get onto that when you're ready. Crowbar, backpack, no chalk.
No chalk. Okay, that's fine. All right, I will fade back into the jungle and make my way back to the group.
Right then.
Once I return back to the group, I'm going to describe everything that I saw, and I'm going to explicitly describe the gauntlet with fire. If anybody has paper, I could attempt to draw it if they prefer. Otherwise, I'll make a description about it and explain how Mesro, which is a completely ruined city, is fully occupied right now by some sort of military training camp, expeditionary force, and they all seem to be of some sort of order with this sigil.
Now, yeah, now,
pen and paper.
right, Kifri, or Kit, Rosecork, Kit, you recognize exactly who they're talking about. These were people you had actually just quickly gone to check on, and you saw like one of their scouts heading out further ahead, and you had begged them for help, to which the scout was quite rude and brashly knocked you out on the spot for being a delirious, clingy halfling, and left you to die, as he did not seem in any way interested in helping you out, though not looking to kill you either. You did find yourselves a few pennies shorter for your troubles too. So they don't seem particularly nice from what you've experienced. But you recognize the insignia as the group of the Flaming Fist, a band of mercenaries that make it their habit to plunder and maraud, and to basically do an adventurer's job, but to do it much more efficiently in a group, like a large society group, without any so much focus on helping others, just mainly the plundering part.
All right, I'll explain that to the group and let them know that they've already attacked me once, and that I don't want to go anywhere near them again.
So these guys are assholes. Got it.
Yeah, they're definitely quite the assholes. Maybe a few of them are good, like yourselves, very much aligned with adventuring lifestyles, just not particularly the very generous sort.
I will point out that a lot of the trainees currently had wooden swords equipped, so a preemptive strike as a surprise attack could be advantageous for us.
Now, that would be reckless. The guards that were following the perimeter were not in any way trainees, neither were the drill sergeants. And what's more, this is a city, so I want you to consider... Kit, you're from England, so you can imagine Birmingham, you can imagine Nottingham. That's a city. This is Mesro, which is a large city, and you just happen to catch one part of it. This place, for what you could tell, seemed quite securely set up by these people, and as a whole training boot camp, they did number in the hundreds that your initial scans did pick up, and the rest are evenly spaced around the place. Attacking these people unprovoked is going to lead to a very bad time, and they will outnumber you.
The picture that I got from that was a little bit smaller in scale.
It's definite. Well, the square symbol should indicate that it is a city. But let me just double check that. Maybe I have got this wrong, but it is a large scale amount of ruins. It just happens to be that the ruins spread out for a large area. Right, yes, it is a ruin, but it is the ruins of a city, so its territory goes out pretty wide.
Okay, so
perhaps we should move around it then.
Yeah, you can just charter a course that takes you to the river nearest the coast, and then just follow the coastline, should you choose to.
Someone remind me, what was our original reason for coming to Mesro?
There was a rumor back at Port Nyanzaru that the city of Mesro was secretly not destroyed by the spell plague, but rather its ruins are all an illusion. You heard that rumor, and your cleric decided to jump on it. It had nothing to do with the death curse.
Alright, so now we've uncovered that particular mystery.
Our main focus, I think, was just to go to Firefinger, and it seemed like it was it was right nearby, and you might as well go see it before heading back. I believe was the decision making there.
Well, fair enough then.
Yeah, we should definitely go. We should definitely go around it, and we should head to Port Castaglar and head back and go to Mumbala and check on our friend. Hopefully, she's alive.
Alright, I agree with that course of action.
So, getting to Port Castaglar, it definitely seems like that would be a long time from now. Well, not Port Castaglar. I mean, getting back to Mumbala.
We have the canoes, which we took with us.
Yes, and you can absolutely use them on the ocean. Very wise, very, very wise. I didn't consider that myself, actually. And that will save you at least some travel time around the perimeter. It may be quicker, arguably, to cut through the forest, but yeah, pros and cons. You still have your canoes.
It would also be a heck of a lot safer than cutting.
Yeah, that was going to be my point. We experienced the jungle firsthand. We don't want any more of that than we need.
Yeah, 5 spaces is good enough to understand how dangerous this place is.
Well,
plus, Plus, it'll lead us into Port Nazar again, where we can resupply up if we need to, and buy our new friend a water catcher.
Okay, so
hopefully we'll find something in Port Castaglar.
I will navigate us around the south side of Mesro, looking to reach the shore. So moving the token like from here to here is my aim.
Yeah, so I will allow you, because you just have to follow the perimeter of Mesro and you're at the ocean, this is not difficult for you to track. So the next day comes and goes, you guys get yourself settled along the beach, and basically you plan to make your beginning journey across the ocean early the next day.
So one question that I have for the group is, this marker on the map that we would see on our map, Ataz Muhaha, is only a day's travel away, and it could be worth scouting out just to see if there's anything there.
Well, whoops. Hang on. Put you back there. That's for me. So if I'm right, yeah, that place is just a point of interest, and I gotta look up what that place actually is.
While he's looking at up,
yeah, go ahead.
We also could take the river south and go to Kir Sabal, because the bird people told us if we go down there, they would give us something. I can't remember what it was they can give us. But
they would do a special rite that would apparently, well, just a special rite as far as you're concerned, but the Birdman promised that by the end of it, it would help you fly.
Well, that could be interesting.
We could go there to see if they can get us to fly us to Mabala.
Or we could. So my thought was like, if we just go to Ataz Muhaha, is that traveling is so realistically slow, and we may or may not be back in this area for a really long time. So if it's a point of interest, it might be worth checking out. Otherwise, we could just continue with our normal plan of going to Port Castaglar before moving on to what our next objective was that we had discussed.
Do we have any information on Ataz Muhaha?
So who was local?
I think it was Brightheart.
I believe it was Brightheart, yeah.
Right, Brightheart had been here before, so I will allow Brightheart a small little history check. Just flat history check, yeah. Alright. That's good history, yes. So, you know the site, actually otherwise known as the Laughing Gorge. is a gaping chasm crossed by an ancient stone bridge called the Monkey Bridge. It got its name because from the monkeys that perch on its walls and hang there by its tails on its underside, because it's a nice chilling spot. But yeah, it's an ancient gorge with its monkeys, and it's just a well-known crossing point and a tremendous long-lost bit of architecture, likely made around the high point of Mesro's era. There also is a shrine to Uptau there, the god of mazes and the most prized god of Chult. But other than that, you don't know much else.
Okay, I'll share that with the group and tell them that it's a really famous bridge and there's a bunch of monkeys there.
Yeah. The bridge doesn't seem that worthwhile to go see.
Well, there's a shrine there.
There's a shrine there, yeah.
Now, because of its location and because you are by canoe, you could get there by, well, halfway through tomorrow.
But what purpose would we have going there besides seeing a shrine and seeing a bridge?
Well, may have riches.
Just the purpose of information. That's all.
It'll be one place you can, check off.
Exactly. But it's up to you guys. I'm just suggesting the idea.
It is on the way to Kir Sabal.
Is that where we're gonna go? We're gonna go to Kir Sabal?
I mean, it is a potential buff for us. Assuming they're telling the truth.
We could either go to Kir Sabal or we could go with the original plan and head around via boat. So,
I mean, I think we should go to Port Castigliar like our original plan was. My only thought was because of where our current location is, we're a day away from where that current place is. That's all I'm saying.
Well, we're stuck in this jungle, searching around. It would not hurt to have an ally. Kir Sabal would possibly give us that opportunity to have an ally in this place.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's up to you guys, but I mean, I think that would be in our benefit, and it's really not that far from the river south.
I'd like to get to Kir Sabal.
Yeah, worst case scenario, we could always just ford back up the river until we go back with the original plan as well.
It's like you said earlier, that what's our chances of possibly coming back?
Was that a monkey?
No. Ignore the monkey sounds. This is not the DM grabbing monkey sounds, getting them ready for effect. Pay no attention to the man behind the screen.
Let's make a plan to go south and Kir Sabal if everybody's in agreement.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
So the only thing I will say is that if it is a massive gorge, if we go down there by water, we may be kind of stuck in the water if there's massive
Right, we
gorge.
would be able to get to the forest or the jungle.
I think we should actually go by foot on the eastern side of the river and make our observations that way. And then once we pass down by the gorge, we could always get our canoes out and then go the rest of the way.
So I imagine with your rope, climbing equipment, time you want to spend doing all this stuff, it's advisable just to go by canoe.
Alright, so I think that's are we still going to try and check out Ataz Muhaha?
It will be en route, so it's basically
We are
en route.
traveling in that direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we should just try.
Well, Ranger, you make the call since you're going to be kind of leading us in this expedition. Which way you want to go?
Is based on the observations that Brightheart gave, or I could always ask her, is that bridge suspended above the gorge, or is it down in the gorge?
So, it has legs to it that connect to the ground. So it's a bridge that has a few stands to it.
Okay, but is it actually like above the gorge?
Don't quite sure I follow. And in fact, I don't think Brightheart knows either.
Okay.
Anyway,
It likely stretches the gorge.
That's what I was thinking, is that it stretches the gorge like Indiana Jones, right? When the massive bridge over the crocodile water.
it's not one of those rope bridges. It's a proper firm stone bridge with long, heavy columns supporting it high above the waterway.
Do we have any idea how wide this bridge is?
No, you will have to visit.
I think we should go along the river and then just camp if we need to.
Okay.
Alrighty then. So, you guys make your way down south the next day, fairly uneventful along the river. And by the middle of that day, you do indeed get there. You go early because in this way you follow the tide as it comes in, and it gives you a bit of a speed boost into the riverway. So, yeah, it's good thinking, and you make good speed. Let me just get this information.
Now, where we're at now on this journey on the river, do we see the end of the river?
The end of the river. No, you do not. You're not seeing the end. Well, I mean...
Well, it kind of curves around, so our vision would be blocked.
You mean the mouth of the river?
Yeah, no.
Well, it's 10 miles
North,
away.
south, though.
Every hex is 10 miles. Keep that in mind. So, what do you normally see 10 miles away? I am not getting the handout
We're in
that I
here
wanted.
someplace.
Yeah, judging by the small curves in the river, as soon as you pass by the southern tip of Mesra, you wouldn't see the mouth anymore. Those little curves are massive curves on the river. Massive turns. If you've ever
Okay.
kind of gone river canoeing or river kayaking.
So,
you know
yeah.
what I mean.
You guys come over here. And, wait.
Oh, we see the black
Yeah,
screen.
it's this damn advanced stuff. This damn subscription pro stuff. Ugh. Nothing but agony for me. Yeah, you're over there. And as you make your way over there, you hear more monkeys around the place.
Are these like the monkeys we encountered once before?
Nah, these are pretty typical monkeys, actually. These are not the Sioux monsters.
I do not like those guys.
Magical monkey noises. Still black screen. No, it will have to. It will kick in. It will kick in. But yeah, you come to this Shrine of Obsal. So you guys follow the river, and as you can see in the top right image of its scale, it's a good couple of feet, tens of feet above the ground floor, and above it, you can see. Oh my god, I've gone blind. It shouldn't be black screen for people. It should be no. Oh my god, why didn't it save?
There we go.
Why subscription plus? Why? Whatever. Yes. So. You can see this large, beautiful bridge with its ornate symbols of monkeys on it, and on those monkeys hang actual live monkeys. But yeah, you can see a stone shrine stands at the midpoint of the bridge. It consists of an imposing statue of a Chultan warrior wearing a war mask, hunkered down like a panther ready to pounce. Like the monkeys elsewhere on the bridge, the carving is highly stylized. Bright gems flash in its eye sockets. A human skeleton lies crumpled near the statue's feet, which you only get like a head of, and several of its bones are obviously broken, but it's impossible to tell whether these injuries happened while the person was alive or were caused by scavengers after death. But in either case, you guys are at the waterway on the ground, while the statue itself, if I presume this is accurate, is about 30 feet up in the air.
You guys want to check it out? Or you want to keep going?
Well, I'm always interested in exploring and uncovering.
Yeah, I mean, we might as well. I mean, we're probably gonna have to take a break at some point, so we might as well camp out here and then climb up it using some rope. You know, if it's just 30 feet up, then we could, you know, easily. I could go up there and tie a rope on one of the platforms there.
Is there any information in our Werewolf guide?
Hmm.
I imagine we're coming from this direction, right?
That's exactly correct.
Probably bank our canoe somewhere along the edge here.
Right, and you would be underneath the bridge. So again, if using this top right little segment, you can see that you would be Vola's Guide of Information. Okay, so yeah, you look up some information and you get information on baboons. And baboons have advantage on attack rolls against creatures when there's a baboon in sight. They claw people, they have blue butts. It's exciting times. Yeah, not much to know about baboons and monkeys in Vola's Guides to Monsters.
Okay, so it kind of gives us an idea that maybe they're aggressive towards people. Do we really want to get involved in that?
Well, there's only a few of them around the place. And even then, baboons are still very weak in terms of what you've been fighting. Next to CR0, if I have to be brutally honest with you.
We have swords. Baboons are not a threat.
Yeah.
As long as they don't push us off the bridge.
Well, right now, you're at the ground floor of it, so you don't have to worry.
So we're right there.
Yeah. You're looking right up at this ornate bridge as you're peering up from below it, checking out all of its fine artistry that was made with it.
I mean, really, the only thing we can see on the top of the bridge is that monkey statue. Or that monkey,
Well, there's lots of monkey statues, but there is a main Chilton warrior statue, which does have your
No,
interest.
that's the shrine.
Yeah, well, might be. You don't know yet.
Well, shall we head up there and take a look?
There are very large vines that aren't shown in this example that you guys could attempt to climb up, but and it would be fairly easy to do so, but it risks the possibility of crossing over too close to those baboons potentially.
We should have someone climb up if they have piton and rope, and just make a climbing surface for us.
Well, like I say, you've got plenty of yeah, but like as I said, there's plenty of long vines that work perfectly as your ropes. They just happen to be held by monkeys. And if you were to use piton and rope, then those vines would still be hanging underneath the archways with baboons there. So you could do this, or you could just climb the vines typically. It would all mean the same either way. The only way to avoid any chance of the baboons is to try and climb one side of the bridge. You know, from the very cliff side.
Yeah, would it make sense to do it before the bridge? Like somewhere around here?
Well, what I mean by that is the edges would be over here or over here. And as you are planning this out, there are a cacophony of monkeys that chitter and shriek continually, and the gorge echoes of their noises, and the place stinks with the monkeys that are there. And their noises are between haughty, gloating laughter to terrified shrieks. But yeah, it keeps going back and forth.
Well, if we're gonna go up there, we need to do it before. You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. Okay. Do it before we lose daylight, at least.
Yes. You know what? Yeah. What was it, Brightheart? You were saying that you could climb up with a particular creature.
Oh, Mr. Cleric, would
just
you
my
please like to
race.
give me a religion check, please? Is something on these columns seems to strike you at interest. Well, you don't know jack shit.
That's right.
Uptau is a strange god to you.
I never claim to be smart, just wise.
But yeah, if you continue on with your planning.
What were you saying?
I was saying that, like, because of my race, I have a climbing speed of 30.
Oh yeah, that's right. So yeah, if you go up there first and then throw down some sturdy rope for us, it should give us hopefully a better chance of getting up there.
Yep.
All right, let's do it.
All right, let's do that. I have silk rope. If that's probably going to be the best rope we've got, I can hand that to you.
Okay. I will take that and start climbing.
Yeah, sure. Okay, cool. So, Brightheart, as you begin to climb, you begin to make your way towards some monkey territory, and they are getting a bit anxious about you. I would like a animal handling check, please.
I'm readying my crossbow as she's climbing.
Oh, don't worry. With your animal handling,
They love me.
they do love you. You and your raccoon seem like your natural-born climbers, and they seem pretty fond of you, and they seem to throw fruit your way, but in a way that lets you know that they like you and they're welcoming you around the place, so you don't think they're going to be an issue for you at all.
Okay.
And yes, they do love you. And you make your way to the top, where you see this large, imposing symbol there. Oh, but also we'll have an athletics check. You're pretty weak, but you do the job. In fact, a monkey helps you climb.
Okay.
Yeah, they pull you along. But yeah, you continue your way up, and you come across this bridge that seems to have some very interesting carved lines across the bottom of it. But other than that, these lines are scattered about with bits of moss that are around there, and some of these lines lead up to the statue in the middle. But yeah, now then, you guys follow suit, basically?
Yes.
I want to stay back and guard the canoes.
Okay.
That's probably a good idea.
Put yourself there then, as we will mark that as the canoes.
Well, I thought we could fold the canoes up and just take them with us.
Foldable.
Sure, yeah. I've discovered they aren't foldable, but I've already said they are now, so I will have to keep to my word. By the way, you all easily share a canoe now. You don't need to.
Do we need to make climbing checks, or are we good to go?
I think we're going to be good to go.
Alright, so we're at the top now.
Yes.
Do we want to take a closer look at the statue?
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So, yeah, you see, as described earlier, a Chilton warrior wearing a war mask, hungered down like a panther, ready to pounce. The carving is highly stylized with bright gems flash in its eye sockets. And below it, you see some very intricately carved lines that come with grooves, but these are interrupted by a bunch of mosses and lichen here and there that interrupt its patternry.
Okay, so what side of the bridge do we climb up on?
You kind of climb
I
up
think
here.
we said the right hand side.
Yeah, because that's where your canoes are, so this makes the most sense.
So right around there.
Yeah. So if you guys kindly drag your tokens out, that would be helpful.
Okay.
Oh, is that our new bard friend?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't have a token yet. But they look cool without a background. Has to be said.
Yeah, I like it.
I will just assign this. Oh, it's already assigned. Okay. Yep.
Did I drag my token out? I don't think I did.
I think so. It looks like you. Oh no, you don't have the little circle.
That's my memory how to do that.
I don't know why you have deleted your character token out. You had it before.
You go to your character sheet and then drag it.
He doesn't have it for no. He does have it. Why does that not work? Yeah, there we go. I did that, but yeah, weird. Anyway, so Willem, you said you were guarding the canoe, so you're down there.
Oh,
No, that's me.
it's the ranger.
The ranger was guarding the canoe, so he's down there. Okay, then. So, yeah. Pretty much things are as you see it. You see a large space here that any of you might fall down into. And lots of interesting lines dotted around the bridge. But moss covers it. Mr. Cleric, with your earlier religion roll, you can't remember what it is about Uptal, and you're at a loss about feeling like something is nagging at you, but you can't figure it out. What's more, part of the bridge has fallen away, leaving a 20-foot gap, which should be accurate. But yeah, other than that, you have the lying skeleton. That's at the feet of the statue, has been packed clean and has nothing else to it other than the bones that are crushed.
Can I investigate and see how he might have died?
So you don't even need to make that much of an investigation. You can see that he was completely crushed and broken physically.
Boons.
Looking at these lines, could the statue move along them? It can slide along.
Make me a Arcana check.
Wow.
So that's not how that's not what they would do.
Okay. I guess I'll just approach carefully.
The
Wait.
lines don't seem symmetrical. They seem to have a multitude of patterns to it.
You should also check for. I'm going to check the ground underneath the vines for any sort of like traps and so forth as well.
You see no traps. That much is clear. You see a few hanging monkeys and a few bits of artisan work and a few crazy looking lines here and there. But no, you don't see anything in the way of traps.
Are there any monkeys on top of the bridge? Or
Yeah,
just on the outside of it?
but they aren't like all that particularly bothersome. They're just loitering around, really.
Yeah, I was just thinking if they weren't any on top of it because they know not to go on there in case they set something off.
Well, they sit on the sidelines, but that is a good thought. You do notice that none do step onto the main bridge itself, but they hang around the statues and the edges all fine.
Interesting.
I might just make sure I stay closer to the edge then.
Okay.
So you said there's notches in the bridge. Can I do an investigation check, see if I can figure out what that might be?
what was this you're investigating for?
You said there's notches and stuff in the bridge.
Notches. Yeah, there is grooves and lines that follow along the ground. You can investigate it.
Ooh, it's gonna be terrible.
Yeah, you don't know what these are for.
It was worth a try.
Yeah, you don't know what this is about.
We should probably stay along the edge and follow what the monkeys are doing, or at least try to.
So, the monkeys don't step on the walkway like you are. But like, yeah, whatever. The lines cover all of the footwear. Wherever you are standing, the lines are there.
Alright, silly question. Why are we doing this?
That's up to you guys to tell me. This is your plan.
I was talking to my party.
Curiosity.
Yeah,
You know what they say about curiosity.
So do we want to go closer to the middle of the bridge and check the statue out? You know my investigation skills are terrible.
I think I'm gonna do that anyway. So
Hmm.
I'm just gonna approach to see whether I can see any sort of inscriptions or signs.
So, yeah, nobody takes any particular interest in the lines across the ground. You make your way there. The statue has its eyes gleaming there. With its make me a kind of appraisal. Make me a flat intelligence check.
Oh, that's not gonna go well.
Yeah, so these gems are the most. So each gem is worth 5,000 gold pieces each.
Yeah, we should immediately prize the gems from the statue in the middle of the dangerous bridge.
Yeah, let's
Well, I'm too short to reach, so one of you guys should do that.
You can easily climb the statue, Kit.
On the lines in the bridge.
Well,
Gotta be some kind of magic to them.
Well, because of your earlier check, Dralian, you have no clue. These lines are arbitrary, and you have no idea about them.
I was suggesting our sorcerer cast Arcana check on the bridge.
Sure. So, you are asked to do some sort of magical assessment. They all lead towards this statue, so maybe something's going on with this statue. But other than that, because you guys don't know anything about Uptau, because of your cleric, you sadly aren't able to piece together what's going on here. You are at a loss.
Guys, I have a bad
ritual
feeling
cast
about
detect
this.
magic.
Sorry?
I would like to ritual cast detect magic then.
Okay, what are you casting it on? Or what is the area you're casting it on?
Well, anything within 30 feet of me that's magic emits an aura.
Okay. Alright then. So, you spend 10 minutes. Your group are determined to find something out. When you do, this statue creates a specific aura of conjuration. Magic.
Okay,
This
and
bridge is an illusion.
I'll discuss that with Willem and explain the conjuration magic statue.
All right. I suspect, at the very least, that if the shrine is desecrated in any way, that the shrine is set up to basically conjure probably some sort of like entity or something like that that will defend the shrine. And
Yeah,
will
would my
cover it up.
character know of any spell that might cause something like that to happen?
No. Not yet anyway, you're too low level.
Okay.
Okay, so I say we did what we wanted to do. We investigated it. We saw it. We looked at it. Now I think we should get on our way.
Yeah, we have other things to do to get done today.
I don't know.
This was rather
5,000
interesting.
gold.
With a level 1 intelligence check. Yes, 5,000 gold.
Yeah, and Kit, It does seem like it'd be such a waste. Surely they could dispel magic. I mean, 10,000 gold pieces for both eyes.
You know, I would do, but I'm a really short little halfling. I can't reach.
Can climb very well.
No, I'll back off. I'm still feeling a bit of exhaustion.
Yes, you do. After your last good sleep, you are still sitting on 1 point of exhaustion despite that. So, yeah, you guys give up on the statue. You head back down. You've seen it. It was fun. You met some monkeys, and you continue to journey down south. That's Portney and Zaro. I don't want that. There we go. Ah, well, that was uneventful. Anyway, you guys then continue the rest of the day traveling the other 10 miles. Yeah, you get, if that's where you think, I need to actually move my token so I know where you are. Then they moved 1, and then they moved 2. Yeah, okay, so that day comes and goes. All good. 20.
So, do we travel a whole day?
Where is that echo coming from? Dralian or Sean? Yeah, Sean, talk again.
I wasn't talking, so...
George, you talk?
I'm here. Yeah.
Where was that echo coming from? William, talk.
I think we're good.
Oh, damn it. Okay, so go on.
From the statue bridge place, have we traveled a whole day, or are we still like there?
I know where you are, and it's up to you to decide where you think you are. I just tell you that you moved 2 hexes on the river.
It was 2. Okay, it was 2. It's what is it like? Because each of these are 10. So on the previous journey through the river, it was 20 miles a day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it's still the same case here.
All right. So, did you say, Luke, that we traveled a whole day already?
Yes.
Okay. So. All right.
You think you're that far? That's fine.
That's 20 miles. Oh yeah.
No, 20. No. Because the river, watch, it would go.
See, the confusion already begins. It's fascinating to watch your minds unravel.
Is 1 hex 10 miles?
1 hex
Or
is
5
10 miles. As the arrow donates.
Ah, okay. So we're back. I thought it was 5 miles. So we're here.
The arrow tells you otherwise. And I did tell you guys that every hex is 10 miles.
Yeah, I mean, it was just many sessions ago, so I just forgot.
Very well. Okay then. So, you have an uneventful day. The next day, you continue to go your way through the thick, torrential sort of weather with plenty of rain abound. And yeah, you travel another 20 miles. Okay, yeah, that works. Whoopie-doopie-doo. I'm just checking on things.
That's so troubling. I'm just going to ask the party to tell me about themselves, since I don't really know anything yet.
Indeed.
Well, I was just going to say, it should have been fairly obvious that we turned around that bend, so we would have had perhaps a landmark as to where we were.
Yeah, trees. Nothing really sticks out past the canopy. Wherever you go, with forest either side of you, what you see is forest. You don't see any noticeable landmarks because of the thick the thick canopy of trees on either side.
I think he's referring to the river bend, though. Yeah, maybe we took a slight turn left or a slight turn right.
So like, if you feel you're very confident to recognize those turns on a OS map on your printed out piece of paper, then sure. Because remember, you are doing that exactly on a piece of scrawled paper. And it's not going to be as exact as you may hope, but you're not far off. You can imagine where you are. There's many turns to a river that are smaller than what this map shows. It's very hard to judge, just as it is to judge the speed of the Earth rotating around at several thousand miles an hour.
Sorry, I didn't mean to distract from our roleplay moment. I go ahead and introduce myself to our bard.
Sorry, just getting sidetracked there. So what are you doing here? Just adventuring for money, or?
We are on a mission to try to figure out what's causing this death curse, and to stop it.
That sounds like a worthy cause. I might need to join you. I'm always after some good tales to make into epic ballads.
Well, we did have a fellow adventurer that we lost, and we're not sure yet if she is alive or dead. She was taken to another location by our guide. So our plan is to make our way back there to see if maybe she made it and we can join back up with her. But you're more than welcome to join us.
Yeah, I think I will do.
Yeah, the jungle is no place for a single person to be anyway.
Definitely not.
Especially a halfling.
Well, I'm not that bad with a sword. Just not against a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yeah. We ran into one of those on our way here. It was not pleasant.
You imagine it was the exact same one, as they are in rare supply.
Okay. Can we continue?
Yeah, so the next day comes and goes as you have an uneventful journey. Okay.
Spend makes it kind of...
Yeah, that's fine. That's
so
fine.
We would be kind of here-ish.
Yeah. That's all good. I will just update. There we go. Yeah. Everything seems okay. Okay. Just reading up on some information. Okay, yeah. So, what you guys happen to notice first is that along the side of the riverbed, you see the gnawed and charred bones of a humanoid. You guys don't seem to know what's going on with him. You just know that it's gnawed and charred. But while you're doing this, some of the flying bird people, akin very much to the aarakocra you saw earlier, fly overhead. A clear sign that these guys might be from Kir Sabal and are you're nearby that place, as they fly overhead and they observe you. If anybody wants to shout them down, this is a good opportunity.
I wave them down.
Yeah, I'm gonna wave at them.
They do a vulture-like circle, and then they make their way down to you. I need to mute this. Mute. There we go. Yeah, and so a flock of 3 of them come on down, and they hover and fly a little bit just above your canoes as they go. You didn't by chance cause that corpse over there, did you?
Oh no, we just got here.
We just got here.
Ah, and what brings you this way?
While we were in Firefinger, we rescued one of your kin.
Make a advantage persuasion check.
Who's doing that?
Yeah. Ah, brilliant. No, not perception. Persuasion. Not perception. Persuasion. Persuasion.
Okay.
I push him aside and say, how about I do this?
Your bard would also be brilliant at this. But
The clerk's talking.
Well, the bard doesn't know about Firefinger. Except for
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, but no. The guys go. No, you're the one that saved Jeffrey. The magical sounding aarakocra named Jeffrey. And they go, oh, you know, he's talked about you. Yes, we're waiting for you back at Kir Sabal.
We were actually on our way there.
Oh, fantastic. We'll let them know ahead of time that you're not far off now.
Thank you.
How far?
Good. Would you mind guiding us there?
Well, you're not too much difficulty from here. You have it on your map, but you follow the river for a good 40 to 30 miles, then head straight east, or unbank here and cross the river south, cross the land south for the next 30 miles, and you'll make it.
30 miles.
Yeah.
Not 10?
No. You do have it on your map, by the way, after your aarakocra friend listed it. And so you do see that it's right there. In a bit of uncharted territory.
Okay. Thank you. We hope to see you soon. And dine with you.
Caw! Glad to hear it. And they fly off back straight south. So, do you guys follow the river and go east, or just hop out here?
I think this is the safest spot to get out and then head due south.
Yes, plus we can uncover these hexes.
Yes, yeah. Fair enough.
You could also inspect the body as well.
Yes, so many things to do.
Brilliant. So when you get out, your first thing is to inspect the dead adventurer, it seems, the dead humanoid. I will allow whoever wants to give me an investigation check.
I got it.
So, you imagine a bloody tale that tells you how this adventurer died. He was cooked and then cleaned to the bone, as likely his friends ended up starving with some fever-crazed companions and decided to cook and eat what was left of one of their friends to live.
Oh boy. I'll keep that information to myself.
I'm gonna ask the ranger, do you know how long he's been dead for?
Hard to tell. No,
No,
it's hard to tell because they burned him, so they charcoaled him. Any signs of, and they picked him so clean to the bone. You don't know how long he's here for. He could have been cooked tomorrow, yesterday rather, and he could have been cooked yesterday.
I'm gonna say it appears that his adventuring companions had done a ritual pyre funeral with him on the banks of the river when he succumbed to his wounds.
Roll me a deception. Oh, that's good deception. Dralian, do you wish to insight that, or take him at his word?
I'll take him at his word.
Oh, brilliant.
I would like to insight that.
I'm gonna insight this. This ranger has lied to me before.
Okay, well, Brightheart, you know that he's telling a porky. You know that he's lying.
Yeah. So, Durndal, what actually happened to him?
It's more horrible than you know. Let's move on.
Do you choose to just leave it at
Danger,
that?
we should know that.
If there's something lurking in the woods that might attack us, we should be aware of it.
Nope, nothing in terms of beasts. It was his own adventuring party had killed him.
Oh, it's horrible.
Hopefully
We should move on from this cursed place.
Now, do we by chance see any kind of smoldering?
No. It's cold now.
Yeah, so it wasn't recently then. At least not recently. Last couple days.
Hard to tell. Very hard to tell.
Yeah. I mean, it could be a day. It could be like a week.
Anyway.
Let's continue on then.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Um.
Straight south.
Yeah. So, you basically unload here and rest for the night. A little bit deeper into the jungle than just the basic sidelines. Yeah. No, that's not what I wanted.
That's a high roll.
Yes. Brilliant. So the next day comes and goes uneventfully. Hang on. Boom. There we go. Yeah. I'll just move this near there. Okay then, yeah. So next day comes and goes uneventfully. The day after. I should have just done a basic roll for that. This will save me some time. I'm talking through Roll20 as it turns out. Didn't want to do that, but that was because there was issues. Anyway. Jungle. Oh. Okay.
That's never good.
So, you guys spot a large, bulking creature move through the forest, knocking trees down as it goes, with a huge eye in the middle of its forehead. A quick look into Volus Guides to Monsters tells you this is a Cyclops. It hasn't spotted you.
Okay, I think we need to hide. I whisper.
I agree.
Cyclops. I mean, aren't Cyclopses very good at smelling, though?
So Volus Guides to Monsters say that because it lacks an eye, it has difficulty picking up on you. Stay still, and you'll probably be safe. Don't make any moves, don't sneeze, like I did, or fart. If you fart, that will immediately get you caught, and you'll get clobbered.
All right. Sure. We should definitely hide from it and wait for it to pass.
They're stupid creatures, unsophisticated, and they don't pay any attention to any gods. They just exist. And yeah, leave one be, and you'll probably be safe.
All right, then we agree we're gonna hide.
So yeah, this Cyclops heads its way down south in a lumbering, slow walk, and you guys give it a miss, and yeah, you have other than that, you avoid the combat. So the next day comes and goes, and you sleep. Then the next day, you will get very close to Kir Sabal. Aha. Okay, so you come across another dead explorer, the body of a human from the waist up. Signs show that the explorer crawled a considerable distance after being bitten in half by a Tyrannosaurus. And yeah, you can see another flaming fist symbol on this corpse. And there is a identification along with the embroidery that says Lord Onovan IV of the Dales. And I will copy and paste that for you.
That could come in handy for us later. I think we should hold on to that.
Does he have any, perhaps, on his body, any like rings or like perhaps a like an identifying like collar or anything that would identify him as besides just that?
Well, I mean, his liver and spleen are currently dragging behind him. Perhaps those can identify him. Or perhaps you'd like to pluck his teeth and see if any of that. Aside from the clothes on his back, he has no... Oh, hang on. You know what? Do you know what? Do you know what? Why be so closed-minded when I could do something very nice for you guys? Oh, that's unlucky. You unfortunately find nothing on him. Oh, that's really unlucky.
What about his clothes? His clothes are intact?
No, well, not what you would call intact. They are torn and churned up via teeth marks. But anyway, you make your way over to Kir Sabal. And I will just get some information up. Is there a handout? There is a handout. So you see a large, piercing cliff face with birdmen flocking to and fro from it. And you should see that in the Kir Sabal handout I've just given you.
Indeed.
Yeah. So, yeah. An ancient monastery overlooks the jungle from its perch on the cliff of a tall plateau. Stone steps and rickety walkways connect the various buildings, the lowest of which is 500 feet above the ground. The main building has a circular, maze-like symbol carved into its crumbling facade. Every few minutes, birdfolk either land at the monastery or launch themselves off from the balconies and take to the sky. Yeah. So, to reach the monastery from the ground, a character must make 3 ability checks. Each time a check fails, the character must choose between either taking 3d6 bludgeoning damage or falling and gaining 1 level of exhaustion, which means disadvantage on any ability checks. Okay. So then, I have rules about if you guys want to climb it. What do you guys do?
Let's see, well, we're arriving by the jungle. So it looked on that picture like it was next to a river. Or is that just sort of the...
That's in the far distance, or for artistic effect.
Okay, so are there any bird people flying around? Right
Yes, and they're 500 feet above you.
Can we call them down?
500 feet is a long-ass distance.
I can yell pretty loud.
It may be worth some sort of magical assistance to project your voice that bit louder. They know you're here, or should be coming soon. But yeah, maybe some magical assistance could help get your voice to break through, because what they hear is wind going through their feathers, while at also 500 feet above the ground. So it may take a little bit more just to get their attention.
I can play my shawm and try and lure them down with the music.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. What kind of music do you play?
Something bright and cheerful, I think. Yeah.
I can add something from the internet. Do you have... You said it's a shawm.
A shawm. It's apparently an old oboe type instrument.
Is that S-H-A-W-M?
That's the one, yes. I'd look it up as well.
Okay, so this is what you end up playing, I guess.
Ooh. Come on, they've got to love that and to come down and investigate.
Yeah, brilliant. So, your little halfling busts out what you imagine was like the stereotypical snake charming instrument, as they suddenly erupt into all this music, and it echoes through the high spires as some aarakocra do notice you, and yeah, a few of them notice you and they cheer as you are actually a hero for them because you did rescue one of their boys. One of which, Jeffrey, I think, comes out to see you. And so a flock of 15 or so come to you, and they get the idea about your needs to fly up. And they cheer and chant for you while you keep playing your awesome oboe schwarm, rather. And they fly you up the side of the cliff face.
Awesome.
I'm just letting this have more opportunities to play itself out, because this is the first time I can remember hearing a swarm. This is going to have to be done in stages of moving you.
It's awesome battle music.
Oh, hey, the next time the bard says, I play my battle music, I'll put this right on the money. Anyway, yeah. So they bring you up, basically to this part of, oh, that's a good place to stop before it starts up again. But, yeah, they take you to, that beginning part there, and, they say, let's find out,
Is our friend that we rescued present?
Yeah, I think he's
yeah, he is with you. Jeffrey
So
is with
I
you.
would ask him how he's doing and just a nice greeting to him.
He goes, never better, my friend, and thank you so much for saving me from those petrofolk, or terrafolk rather. That was absolutely fortuitous, and as promised, I've said of your deeds, and there is one amongst us called Ashara, who you get a handout for now, of a nice crimson birds of paradise coloured aarakocra that says, he knows how to conduct the dance of the seven winds, a ritual passed on by the ancient wind dukes of Aqua, or Eka rather. Somebody roll me Arcana for that. So you have Brightheart, you have a familiarity that this is a reference to the elemental plane of air, for which aarakocra can also make their home, as it's just a large endless sky space with no bottom and no ceiling to the sky.
Okay, I'll share that with the group and tell them about how the aarakocra are actually from the elemental plane. And the dance. I'll explain that.
Yeah. He warns you that, unfortunately, the dance will be temporary, but for that moment, you will experience what it is to fly, with no worries whatsoever. And you'll be able to experience what it is to fly.
Wow, that sounds fantastic.
I asked how temporary it is. Like, how would it last a day or just an hour?
Just 10 minutes. No, 10 minutes to complete. And each gain a flying speed of 30 feet, 4 miles per day. It will last for 3 days, so not an hour. I apologize.
Okay. So 3 days. How far can we go with this? Because
Well,
we do have a friend who helped save you, and they unfortunately they're badly injured, and we need to check on them.
Wait, what? Oh, right. Right. So, 4 miles per hour is the basic walking distance, as is your current walking distance. So you would fly the same speed you would walk. So you would walk at the same pace. However, you would avoid daily encounters. No, actually, come on, that's not going to be fair. Okay then. So, 9 to... basic traveling hours. Without needing to take a long rest, I believe you can travel for about 10 to 8 hours. So, if we do a small calculation of 8 times 4, you could travel 30 miles in one day. And then for this benefit to be given to you for the next 3 days, you could travel like this and make a distance of 90 miles. Essentially, taking your travel time and speeding up by 3, basically. Each day you travel 3 hexes.
Interesting.
That'll make it a lot easier for us to get over to where we need to go.
Yeah.
It'll be worth it just to fly, to be honest.
Yeah.
This is true.
Yeah. So, as you make your way up through the staircase led to, the, royal house, wait, to the royal house? Where would you go? No, you would be led to the elder's house, over at this place, the highest rising little building past the royal house. As you do make your way up that way, you cross by a few dwellings with a few children, aarakocra, leaning out the windows and being interested by these humanoids that they're told of, but somehow will have never seen. One of these includes Ashara's quarters. No, not yet. No. Sorry. No, it doesn't. These are just dwellings. And, yeah. They're pretty tight. They just fit them, and then they come out. There's some scales, shells, and teeth lining from around some of the wood. And you make your way past to a cleansing chambers. And the aarakocra treat this as a very ritualistic sort of cleansing place. They tell you guys that it would be very good before the ceremony if you wash yourself in these cleansing chambers.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Perhaps our friend could show us how it's done.
Oh, he's like, there's nothing much to it. He leads the way though, and you get taken to an interesting bird bath, honestly, basin that just sits in the middle, but it's much broader though. But it's still just a wash basin, and the ablutions that are around the side are smaller vessels of salt, powdered chalk, and some gold dust that sprinkles into the water and then dashes over himself. That gives his feathers a unique and spectacular charm to them. He says you can save on the gold dust, but it's all part of the experience. Your friends here.
Alright, I'll go ahead and follow suit.
Yeah, the upper part of here, right above this ritualistic cleansing chambers, has some candles burning high above, which you make your way up to. And there's a 5-foot tall wooden statue with flowers and offerings of food placed at it. It's very old and worn almost smooth by thousands of hands brushing against it, so it's impossible to determine what was originally portrayed. Jeffrey basically leaves something there on your behalf as you are welcome guests here, and he makes his way up to the main royal palace. If I'm right, monastery. Oh, it's sorry, it's not Royal Palace. Ugh, getting all these so confused. It's right beside the monastery though. But it makes your way up to the monastery here, and you work your way through the main room with a few aarakocra, and yeah, again, you're all very much welcome friends here. Just move them all to the GM. I'll just move everything to GM layer basically. And yeah, you have no difficulty here.
I'm conversing with them this whole time, asking about their culture and their background and all that.
Oh, they live pretty like tribalistic sort of lifestyles, but with a deep understanding of the elemental plane of air, and they have sworn. They're quite religious and tribalistic to a point where they believe in fighting off creatures of elemental evil, such as gargoyles in particular. Those they particularly hate to find, as these are flying creatures of an elemental nature, and they are elemental guardians in a lot of senses, so they have a sort of sworn natural duty in this sense.
I'm gonna ask and see. Do they have any form of like a scout or a pathfinder that I would be able to talk with, and he would be able to help me plot the surrounding area on my map to reveal the area and see if there's any points of interest or things like that?
Well, I will allow you that in your current place, you're able to see the next hexagon in each surrounding spot around Kir Sabal. So I will reveal those for you. Boop, boop, boop. I will allow that, as you are currently in the middle of a large spanning plateau that breaks away from the forest. And I've labeled that and annotated that. So you want to scout, and it's much easier just for them to, like, well, they know where places are. If you have a place that's not on your map, they probably could point it out to you. If you've heard of a place, they can point it out to you, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about the place where the Naga was at? What talking to my party here. Was that place on our map or not? Would they be able to point that out? I don't remember if that was on our map.
So you need to tell me the name. Not the Naga, but the place.
Hold on, gotta pull out the notes here.
To save you time, the place was called Oralunga, and you do know where it is. It is annotated on your map. It's in the far, far west. And I'm not going to take you back to your map because that's awkward with how it's set up here.
Okay.
But I can just tell you, you know where it is. It's in the far, far west. Far more west than Mabala was.
Okay, could they tell us about what's going on at Mesro? Do they know anything about that?
Yeah, they tell you that the place is basically occupied by humanoids that come in from the south on ships. They get into Mesro. They don't pretty much leave it, but there is the occasional scouting party and group that ventures out into the jungles of Cholt and try their luck at scavenging its resources.
Okay, and then lastly, with Port Castigliar, is that a human port? Is it occupied? Is it friendly? Do they know?
I wish I could tell you. I have been trying to find information on Port Castigliar, and the resources has not been kind in telling me about it. I can't find anything to do with it.
Okay.
One other thing, mentioning that group that's in Mesro right now. We did find, like 5 miles away, the body of a Lord Onoban, the fourth of the Dales, who was not far away from the settlement here.
They shrug as they don't know anything about it.
Have we asked them what they might know about the death group?
So, nobody, they've heard tell of it via some dealings of humanoids, but they don't know a lot about it. They don't particularly have access to resurrection magic, so they don't see firsthand any examples of people coming back from the dead to then be taken back into death. So they've heard tell of some rumors like that, but they don't know certainly what's causing it, at the least.
In their when they do fly over areas, have they noticed any areas that are outstanding and not jungle areas, but actually magical wintry areas with snow?
That is a very interesting question, and so 1 out of 10 aarakocra you talk to do say that they have noticed such an occurrence that breaks from the norm. What's more, out of very weird curiosity, these places are not usually joined, but later followed up by groups of frost giants that seem to be following these trails of ices, or it happens to be a coincidence. It's extremely hard to tell, and they never engage with these frost giants. But frost giants in the jungles of Chol is, well, they know them as blue-skinned giants. They don't even understand that these are giants of the cold peaks of the north. These are very foreign giants for the area. And it's so weird that they are there. They don't seem to be causing the ice effects that are spotted around the jungle, but they seem to be trying to follow after them where they can. Somebody can roll me nature for frost giant. No. Follow sky to monsters.
Yeah.
So,
Frost giants.
Yes. So, recent history, and this ties in with another campaign, by the way. And here is a handout of what a frost giant looks like. Very Nordic, sort of a giant creature. And recently, in recent history, the ordering that put the hierarchy of giants in their respective positions was shattered, and all of the North were fighting, or still currently fighting. It's hard from when you last were, with these giants, as they were all fighting for new dominance and to strike up their dominance over all other giant kind. Frost giants weren't too shabby on that list. Your notes go on that gives a little tidbit that says, boulders assailed our walls and cast them down, leaving gapes through which giants strode, weapon in hand. Captain Dwern Addleston, partial account of the siege of Sterngate. And yeah, with frost giants, they have hearts of ice. Not pure ice, but rather their hair and beards are pale white or light blue, matted with frost and clustered with icicles. And they are creatures of ice and snow. Their flesh is as blue as glacial ice. They dwell in high peaks and glacial rifts where the sun hides in the golden head of winter. Crops don't grow in their frozen homeland, and they keep little livestock beyond what they capture and kill on raids. They're reavers of the storm. They're rulers by might. They make war, not goods. If they were a house in Game of Thrones, they would be the one that says "We do not sow," the Greyjoys. And here is where Agaroth, the barbarian, fell against the giant horde. His bones are under the boulder over there. Elders Elaine of Istinfin, recounting the giant wars. But yeah, as giants go, these frost giants are pretty high up, very strong, as they rule by might in particular, and they still survive in the most harshest of environments. And despite all of their favoritism for the cold, they are in the exact polar opposite by coming to Chol.
Yeah. does seem a little unusual to see frost giants in a very hot jungle.
It absolutely is. So there must be a connection with the random frost spots that they have reported and you have seen, and what the frost giants are here for. They are relatively smart to a degree that they wouldn't just throw themselves over here on a whim. They would have to sail across the seas to get here too. They are not native to this land.
Okay. Are the frost spots, like the one we saw, are they random or are they permanent?
Pretty random. The aarakocra admit, as they disappear after a certain time, naturally, as the magic dissipates. But yeah, what they do notice is every so often, they notice these frost spots. They notice certain smells, but the canopy of the jungle still hides the humanoids that might be within, and they have been very cautious to approach. For things that are out in the open, the aarakocra make their prey, but what breaks into the canopy line is anybody's guess, and the aarakocra lose their flying advantage between all those grasping jungle vines and what have you.
Right. Okay.
I'd like to ask them about a rumor I heard as well.
What would that be?
I heard about an airship that crashed. I was wondering whether they'd seen any wreckage.
They may know something about that, actually. Let's just check it out. Also, I've got the information that would have been awesome for earlier. So, I get all this... I'll get all this information to you at another time. I found the place to go, so yeah. So, they actually know of 2 ships that are wrecked. Yeah, they actually know of 2. And, woo, I'll take you, I'll make them listed on your map, basically, when I take you back there. But, yeah, they actually know of a ship not very far from here, that is, hang on, yep, move it to token layer, and then move those both to map layer. There we go. But yeah, they know a ship that seems to be labeled Wreck of the Narwhal. And over to the far, far southwest, they also know of another ship, bizarre as that may be, that seems to have come out and got stuck in the trees, like this other one has. That seems to be Wreck of the Star Goddess. These names they made out because they were listed on the, banners of the ships. Ooh, ooh, ooh. But, yeah.
This is one I'd heard of.
Well, yeah, there's a location to it now, and it can be found 200 miles southwest-west.
And do they know what might have made them crash?
Not a clue.
I asked Kithri what her interest in these airships is.
I just like to find out the truth. You know, I'm always looking for a good story. I can spin into a tale.
Yeah, hang on. How do you know the wreck of the Star Goddess?
There were people talking about it when I was in.
Oh, were there now?
Whatever that place was called.
Were there now? Sounds like somebody is carrying on the mission of their previous character and is trying to hide it up with bullshit.
No. I'm always talking to people.
I'll allow it, don't you worry.
I'm sorry, I thought it was just part of your backstory.
No.
As a DM, you pick this up pretty easily after your 5th or 12th twin character. Also, you were asking about Port Castiglia. It's nothing more than a stretch of beach with an abandoned supply depot, 7 battered huts made of bamboo and thatch, and a defiled graveyard. Undead drove away the inhabitants long ago, and ghouls dug up the graves.
Oh, well, then it's a good thing we didn't go there.
Well, there's supplies.
Well, it's an abandoned supply depot, so there may be something, there may be nothing. But at the same time, it's not an active port, and it's just a set of ruins. But at least any undead bodies have all been collected from there.
Okay, I want to ask them if they we're gonna be on this island probably for a while. What are there allies we can find here?
Well, they have a cheerful squawk because they go, "We are your allies." Ka! I'm giving some unnecessary car because I want to make it obvious that Birdman.
That's fine.
We appreciate you as allies.
Yes, but do you have allies of your own? Others that you call your friends, who could be allies as well?
He kind of, instead of like scratching their head in like a bit of thinking, they just peck their wings. So they're just like, not so much. Wait, yeah, we keep to ourselves. I mean, in terms of your list of allies, you best find them back at Port Nyanzaru. Catch up with your dead friend that was rushed to necrotic hospital that you guys don't fancy chasing up on anytime soon.
Oh, we are.
We needed a way to get there faster than running 160 miles through the jungle.
Exactly.
Do they have any?
Every time.
Do they have any merchants or traders that would be available to us?
No, they're very tribalistic people. They don't have anything to sell, but they were welcome to free food and drink and whatnot.
Do they have I think it's called a bowyer?
They don't have any sort of armorer. But they have some weapons on hand. Let's just see.
I'm looking for someone that I can buy crossbow bolts from.
Right. So let me just check on something. So they mostly deal with javelins and their own talons. And javelins are just sticks and sharp rocks, basically. Other than that, they do not arm themselves with crossbows, and they don't make them. But people in this tribe all contribute to, making their own, making some for others. It's not a formal thing for them. So there's javelins galore, but there's not going to be any crossbow bolts for you.
Okay.
At least
Figured I'd ask.
Oh, fair enough.
All right, I think that's.
Are you running low on crossbow boats?
I wouldn't say I'm low, but I need to replenish at some point.
Well, if you do get low, I have 5 that you're welcome to.
Okay. Yeah, it's like if we get into 2 or 3 or 4 more fights, I'm gonna really be running dangerously low.
Whatever happened with those arrows you picked up?
The barbarian has them with their arrows. I'd have to convert them somehow.
Yeah, we don't have a means to do that.
Anyway,
Okay.
it's now maybe time to continue on. You have left the area, but you've got to chill in this large palace. Everything here is made to humanoid proportions, so you seem to be quite comfortable here. Because you're higher up in the sky, you're actually broken past all of that rancid humidity you've been suffering from, as you're catching some cool breezes moving through some of the open doorways and whatnot. So this is actually pretty damn comfortable, considering.
We should spend the night here.
Yeah, well, it seems a good idea. Yeah. Let's see. So then, you make your way to the royal house that's just beside where you are currently. And, perched between the monastery is the elder's house, and it's furnished with humans, and it belongs to, oh, hang on. Something interesting has popped up that I did not foresee. I should have had all of this long, extensive, yeah. So, in here, you are met with a shower, an old aarakocra, who basically has a long, very beautiful feathers despite his age that drag on the floor behind him as he sort of crunched over a little bit. Age isn't so noticeable, but posture and stance sort of is. And he greets you first back at this place, and Jeffrey says, "This here is Ashara, wise elder who will perform the Dance of the Seven Winds for you." And he goes, yes, you have done a great deal for Jeffrey. So once you are more than welcome to the ritual. Though I heard tell you were here in the jungles of Chult for more.
Yeah, I explain our mission to uncover this death curse and a cure for it.
So I will be more than happy to do the Dance of the Seven Winds for you. Out of interest, do any of you happen to have between you a black orchid?
I don't.
I'm afraid not.
No.
Well, I will be more than happy, but the ritual will require a black orchid that can be found in Nangalore. For the majority of this, you guys are learning of a lot of places, so I'm just going to take you back to the player map so you can actually see these places start to come up. Where is it? Where is Nangalore? Nangalore. Gotta go back to locations. MN. Oh, son of a hamster. Nangalore, see the map. Where is it? I'm having a spot of bother. Please excuse Mr. DM. He's trying his best, but Roll 20 is not the great place for keeping everything organized. I'm gonna have to nip into my own map. In the meantime, why don't you ask Ashara about why he needs a feather? I found it.
Yeah, we're seeing everything right now.
Shh. No. No. No.
Can I get a screenshot of that?
No. Oh, it's recorded. I'll have to cut it. But no, Nangalore is actually pretty close. Right here.
Okay.
But he says that we don't go to those ruins as they are inhabited by some evil Eblis. Druid, with your past experience, you can make a roll on what Eblis are.
Okay.
So Bola didn't come across those?
Did you say a nature check?
Yeah. Or somebody can do Volus.
Yeah.
There we go.
Say.
Nature check
So
as well.
you see a nasty looking crane here that you see in Volus Guide of a depiction of, and it's apparent that these are apparently intelligent birds that are basically thought to be the reincarnation of evil humanoids who were punished by gods for acts of larceny and kidnapping. These intelligent evil cranes love to draw people in with lies and deceit. They come with a tiny bit of spell casting, but it's only natural. The main draw of them is that they are intelligent but evil. They try to sway people and creatures to do their bidding, and their plots are self-serving. They delight in seeing others be destroyed in whatever way is possible. Yeah, that book was a great purchase.
Yeah, how much did you pay for it?
50 gold pieces.
50 gold.
Best 50 gold purchase ever.
Hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna ask him if that's the only place that this black orchid grows.
Yes, quite so. Quite so.
Well, I mean, we're close by, so it's something we may want to check out and try to get.
We can definitely fly you nearby, within 10 miles from the place. But we would not we would not take my other people too close. The place is guarded by those evil creatures, and I would not risk their lives there.
Not to worry, we're adventurers. It's what we do.
Ah, brilliant. Nice to see the adventuring spirit is still strong.
So is everybody okay with this plan?
Yeah.
Yeah. We pretty much need the flying to be able to get to Mabala in any reasonable amount of time.
Yeah, I'm just disappointed that it's halfway of what we were able to fly.
Maybe while there, it will be worth you picking up a fair number of black orchids. It would definitely be to your best interest in case the ritual didn't work the first time.
As many as we can carry that.
Ah, brilliant.
Okay, so I guess we're gonna fly. They're gonna fly us to close by.
Quest hook achieved.
Well, before that happens, I will ask that you're expected to do some cleaning and sweeping while you're here.
That's okay. Put me in the right direction. I'll get going.
Wonderful, wonderful. Glad to see there are no cultural disputes here. Yes. Anyway, we will be able to do our activities here. I would ask that you don't go to... Well, hang on. Just reading things. Yeah. Anyway, so yes, you guys are basically assigned to do some chores and stuff, as it seems as though you're going to be heading over to Langalore to try and get these black orchids for your flying capabilities.
Sounds like a good plan.
Yeah. And if you do so, then you should be able to make some headway flying all the way back to Mumbala. So, during that evening, you deal with chores, you clean up, you help replace water and whatnot. People approach you, little aarakocra approach you, and plenty of other stuff goes on.
I cast little cantrips to impress them.
Oh, they're very... yeah, do a performance check.
Let's see, where would that be under? Oh, here we go.
Yeah, they're all very impressed. The elders can do magic too, of a ritualistic nature, but you bringing up tiny little fireworks and stuff have the younger ones preening and very excited for sure.
Nice.
Okay, so the next day.
Yeah, go on. So basically, how do people spend this evening at the aarakocra place?
I'm getting to know them better, making friends.
Yes, I'm gonna make friends and perhaps if they have something to drink with them and share stories and tales.
Ah, lovely.
I'm gonna walk around and kind of get some fresh air outside on the planks that you can walk across. Just doing passive perception to hear. See if I hear anything interesting.
So, when you taking you back to the map, working your way over there. There we go. Yes. Yeah. So going back to the map, you are not permitted to enter this building here, as there is an aarakocra outside that basically says that this is a private accommodation for someone.
Okay, so we avoid it.
Yeah, fair enough. Mr. Ranger, do you let your curiosity end there?
Private accommodation for who?
I
wasn't aware you had any other guests here.
Well, that's not to be shared openly. Anyway, the residents in this apartment are not to be disturbed. And are to be left alone.
I'm going to say to him, I actually had some friends that were traveling in this area, and I've actually been looking for them.
These are not them.
Are they,
These are not them.
Are they human in nature? And would you perhaps...
The aarakocra is looking a little bit standoffish at this point, as you're getting quite familiar that you're standing on a rickety bit of walkway that's 620 feet above the ground, and all it takes is one successful shove attempt to see you go tumbling down.
Alright, so I can't roll a deception then?
You can roll a deception if you like. What are you deceiving about?
I'm telling him that I had some friends that were lost in the area, and I was wondering if it was them, perhaps they found their way here.
You can roll that deception, sure. These are not them.
Oh wow, he rolled really high.
Or he doesn't have to roll because he knows the exact truth.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Alright, I'll just continue just getting fresh air and doing my passive perception.
No, fair enough. Like you say, you walk around that way, but the windows are covered with a few bits of fabric and no kind of wooden whatever. So you imagine sneaking in there may be a bit easier when no one's looking. Certainly nothing you have to pick your way into.
Right. What's the guard doing? Is he just standing out front?
Yeah.
Sure. I'll do a stealth check and try to peek inside.
Haha, brilliant. Okay, so inside, you see a young female, with a little brother nearby. And I'm going to show that to you guys. She seems about 17, and when you peek through, so yeah, like, tell me what you're doing to peek through.
You said that there was like curtains covering the doors?
Curtains covering the windows. The main door was covered by that dude, so you are climbing up a wall and you are peeking ahead through a window.
Okay, I'll just try to use my hand to just kind of gently and slightly push the curtain a little bit, not like pulling it to the side, but just kind of pushing it back to then peek in at an angle.
Yeah, sure. So, yeah, I would like you to make me a stealth check, please. Very good. So you are completely unseen. This dark-skinned woman, 17 years old, with a much younger sibling, apparently something like 6 years old, just sitting around together, as the 17-year-old seems particularly frustrated and is pacing back and forth as you catch them in a little bit of a conversation, as it goes something like, why won't they let me see them? I've been cooped up in here. They love the word cooped. I've been cooped up in here for far, far too long, and I am getting so frustrated. She seems to be at a loss for words and doesn't seem to put them too coherently, as she's like, surely I have some sway. My grandmother was Napaka, for God's sake, the last ruling queen of Omu. I have some sway. Surely they don't have to keep telling me what to do. I'm 17, damn it. I can go and see who I want. And now it's like, they'll tell you off and they won't let you come out tomorrow. Oh, you don't have to. Well, you rat them out. You rat me out on them last time. And he goes, because the Ashara likes me, I am well behaved. Well, shut up, no one asked you. And he's just like, and you get the impression that they are brother and sibling. And she just says, look, just get out of my room. And he just goes, okay. Play with me tomorrow, though. And he goes out and he closes the door behind him. After that, she sits there, like fiddling with her hair, head slumped into her hand, as she kind of takes a very exasperated, dramatic sigh. As she is a 17-year-old woman, a girl rather, as seems very much like, oof, wish there was somebody that I could, just somebody who isn't covered in feathers. Man, perhaps would be brilliant, but all the same, I want something more than just what's on this damn monastery with all these pecking, flocking bird people. When do I get to be the next ruler of Omu? When does that part of my life get to begin and I can leave all this behind me? Do you choose to step in at any point, Mr. Cage?
So the younger brother you said left her room and went away?
Yes.
Is there a door that goes into her room, where like into the hallway?
Yes, inside. I'm telling you, you're peeking through a window. There is one doorway, and that is where the aarakocra is guarding. But you could fit through this window if you wanted to.
No, I mean like on the interior of the building you said that she had the little brother, and the little brother walked away. Did he leave the room?
Yeah.
Okay, and then is there a door that closes off the area that he left?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to climb inside, and when she sees me, I'm going to make like the universal like quiet whispering noise with the finger kind of in front of your mouth.
Mr. Cage, what is your typical passive charm?
My passive? What do you mean passive charm? My charisma?
Yeah. Where's your charisma modifier plus 10?
My charisma modifier is 2.
Ah, okay. Okay. When you come in, she definitely gasps and staggers backwards, but she takes the symbol that you give her, and she's very quiet, and she listens, and she's nods as in like, she actually like holds her chest a little bit, and she keeps her arm tucked to her chest as she seems kind of nervous of you, but she's waiting for you to indicate what you're up to.
Okay. I'm going to quietly walk over and close the door.
She is very much shaking now, and she seems to be breathing very nervously.
Okay. And I'm just going to say, hi, my name is Jim. My companions and I came here.
Your name's Jim? It's Durandale Cage.
You know me?
No, I'm talking out of character. Give me a deception check. Of all the names, Jim. Alright. Oh, jeez. Of all the names, Jim. Oh, she goes, that's not your name. Because she crits on the damn wisdom score.
Okay. I'm gonna tell her, you're right. My real name is Durandal. My adventuring party and I came here, seeking help from the feathered people. They offered to help, the aarakocra, and they offered to help us because we're trying to save one of our adventurers that had fallen in battle. We were tasked on a mission coming from Port Nyanzara. I couldn't help but overhear what you were talking about, and you seemed to be in duress and held here against your will. And you also wanted to, nothing more than to speak with the man I overheard. Well, you have a man in front of you. What's your name?
So, she's actually taking it back, and the first thing she goes is like, wow, so you're pretty brave to be doing that, and you're in constant danger, aren't you?
The jungle is full of dangers.
Yeah, but you gotta be really strong to like be managing so well out there. I'm sorry about I'm so sorry about your friend though. But like you're really capable, aren't you? I mean, you came in here without anybody noticing you, and you've been fighting through the jungle. You're really strong, and you've got some very good skills of a dagger, don't you?
I don't really use daggers. I prefer to take my enemies out from afar. But
Wow.
let me ask you a question. What are you doing here? And why is the guard not letting anyone in to see you?
Oh, they don't want me at risk of being taken away by such strong men like yourself. I mean, excuse me. Pardon me. Make an insight check. You're not picking up on anything. But she's just like, well, they just don't let me see anybody. They're waiting to like come of age, or when Omu has no more evil around the place. But for now, the place is a ruins, and I have no phone to return to.
Is that where you're from?
Well, it's my ancestral home. I've lived here for most of my life, but Omu is my true home, and hopefully where my phone will be waiting for me.
Oh, your throne. Are you a princess? I didn't realize I was in the midst of royalty.
Oh, it's quite alright. I mean, what is a princess without any sort of any prince? I mean, no, excuse me. I will be very much a princess without any need for any other. I'll be particularly fine. Yeah. You're noticing that she stumbles a lot. It doesn't seem like her, but she is just like, anyway, yes, I will be the next queen of Omu, and I just wish we went to Omu and we took out the evil so I can reclaim it, and I can do good for Chot. Rather than being cooped up in here.
I'm gonna say to her, well, perhaps we could get to know each other better in your ancestral homeland, but maybe there's something I could do for you first.
No, I won't have a deception. I will have you give me a charm with advantage.
Okay.
Which I mean by like, nah, I need give me a persuasion check with advantage.
Okay.
There we go. So like, she's blushing rather, and she's like, she seems to be breathing quite heavily now. Yeah. So like, yeah. So you said you're gonna take that. So he goes, God, I've been waiting so long to be hopefully getting back to Omu. I believe that I can garner widespread support and repopulate the place and help rebuild Omu. But to do this, I think it's important that I get a bit of treasure that will help us, help you and me. I mean, it's called the Skull Chalice of Chukare, spelt like this. Boom. If you head there and you can bring that chalice back to me, I won't need this aarakocra anymore. I'll be able to bring people in, and they will all follow me. I know it. I believe it.
Where could I acquire this chalice for you?
It's in the ruins of Omu. Hang on, yeah. Hang on. Yeah, it's in the I'm just gonna have to check, actually. I will just check. So it was crafted by a skull of a long dead Omu king. I really don't know. She doesn't know where it is, actually. She thought it may be somewhere in Omu, but, she's not sure. In fact, she's pretty sure it'd be in Omu. Somewhere deep, or somewhere lost between all of its ruins. Yeah. Yeah, it's somewhere deep in Omu, but she's been away for so long she has no idea really.
Okay.
But, yeah.
I assume that she's educated, so I'm going to pull out my map real quick, and I'm going to show it to her, and I'm going to say, can you point to where your ancestral homeland of Omu is?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And she is educated. Out of interest, how old are you, by the way?
I'm 24.
Ah, okay, cool. Just curious. So going back to your Kir Sabal is really awkwardly placed, so I'm gonna drag it all the way back to there. 1 out or 2 out. There we go. And I put it over player's map. You should see that Omu is right over here.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Very good. And then I'm gonna start making my way back towards the window. I'm gonna turn around to her and I'm gonna say, lastly...
Oh, she's already grabbing your arm very tightly.
What?
And she's like, well, you wouldn't stay here for a bit longer, would you? Please, stay here for longer.
No. Time is of the essence. I must be on the way
no,
to...
please stay here. I want to hear more about you. Please, I've only just met you. And this is crazy, but here's my number, so call me maybe?
The sooner I leave, the sooner I can get your skull chalice and you can return to your ancestral homeland. One last thing as I move her arm off of, grab her arm and remove it from her.
Listen, there's a bit of a grapple check gonna be going on right now. They will use their dexterity. You may make a counter grapple check.
Counter rate check.
No. This is just to get out of this grip. Dex or strength?
Check.
Yeah. Athletics or acrobatics. So, the young princess unfortunately cannot keep you in her midst, as she's like, well, do you have to go so soon? Surely you could stay for a bit longer.
I'm sorry, but I can't. But one last thing. Do you know anything of black orchids and why the insert name of the bird people, the something, I forget what they're called.
Okay. And she's like, she gives a smirk and she's like, I guess I could tell you, but you'll have to stay here the whole night.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a deception check on her. Yes, I'll absolutely stay the whole night with you, but tell me what you know about the black orchids, and if the information is worth it, I'll stay.
That's a good perception check, deception rather, but she's just gonna go, not agreeable. You're gonna stay here, or no information. These are unnegotiable terms, you see, Durandal.
Yeah, I'm debating. Hold on. Perception check on the room. For anything that, judging on my character's background, that I would see out of the ordinary.
Not really. No, this is just a girl's room that isn't overly flourished with anything in particular. There may be a few black scribbles that her brother might have done, but that have been rubbed off. But other than that, really not a lot. No, not a lot, really.
Okay, well, judging by the fact that there's a possibility for an inspiration point for a night of rituals, I will stay in the room.
She's 17 years old.
Yeah, that doesn't mean anything in this kind of a time era. The whole
very different this
back in the day, people used to have kids when they were like 12.
I love how your voice broke then. It actually broke like a little bit, and I have that recorded. That's a good time. Now, we don't have to go into too much details, but she is enamored with you. This is made very poignant and clear. In fact, she has had no experience whatsoever, and she is outrageously attached and enamored by you. In fact, she could be described as being stuck on you. Really?
Sweet.
I mean, you see her handout. She has a +3 charisma score, so she's got something going for her. But yeah, you can do whatever you think is allowable by these standards. But as far as what's being allowed, she's very eager. She is very eager and outrageously enamored by you.
Well, I'm totally gonna smash. So
The 6-year-old brother is like, "Sis, what's going on?" And she's just like, "Get out!" in like a very strong African accent midway. But thank you. You definitely get inspiration now.
Okay.
Brilliant. As you smash Princess. What is her name?
The M is probably silent. Or Moaxanare?
Sure. Yeah. Oh, Nare for short, and she definitely wants you to call out her name, Nare.
Okay, call her a couple other things too.
Brilliant! Absolutely outstanding. What are other people doing in this time?
Not having as good of a time as Randall Gage.
I'm sleeping soundly.
No, you're not. Not as soundly as you might be able to be.
Really? Why is that?
Noises.
The howls of animalistic sex, that's what's keeping you up.
Oh, damn. Damn. It's gone all the way there now.
Oh, but wait, there's a guard outside, isn't there?
Yes, that's a very good point. You better make a quick escape. No, you're not. You're gonna have to... No, he comes in wondering what's going on, and you are stuck in the cupboard.
Can I hide in the closet?
You absolutely do hide in the closet. Things get caught in the closet door the first time it's closed up. That hurt. Basically, what I'm saying is your dick gets caught in the door.
Oh, ouch.
Yeah, it's cool. It's closed up again afterwards. But yeah, that's your night of shenanigans. But you aren't caught, because you're a sneaky dude.
Did she actually tell me anything about the black orchids?
By the end of the morning, it's like, it's just a ritual component.
Oh, okay.
That's what you, that was the key piece of information. Ruffle.
That's
wow.
Great.
Wow. Took one for the team.
Brilliant. Okay then. So then, what are people's course of action the next day?
Well, I think our plan was to go help them collect those orchids.
Let's go get an orchid.
Yeah.
Alright then. So, these aarakocra offer to carry you straight to Nangalore, where they won't enter, but they will bring you right outside. And I will take you there now.
Oh, wait, does our ranger friend share anything of what he was up to last night?
Good question. Is he the kind to kiss and absolutely tell that he smashed?
A gentleman never tells. No, I will go into detail about how I encountered a woman with giving her full name that was trapped or being held there because she's claims to be some sort of princess for this city, and that she wants us to retrieve the chalice. and that there's a reward in it for us.
Did she say a reward?
Well, there's a reward in it for me, which by extension is the party. So
And it took her the whole night to tell you that.
Nice.
She talks really slow.
Lovely.
Okay then.
So then, yeah, you guys approach, and yeah, okay. So yeah, I'll just take you in from the entrance, which is a weird place to have you started. But yeah, that's fair enough. You can put your. Do you see everything?
Yep.
So you can put yourselves over by these trees. And a fantastic edifice rises up out of the jungle. A hanging garden of exotic beauty. Water streams down the steps between two massive elephant carvings. Beyond them, a broad flooded avenue runs arrows straight for more than 100 feet before ending at a carving of a Tyrannosaurus face. Water pours from the Tyrannosaurus's jaws and flows the length of the concourse to drain down the steps in front of you. 5-foot-high terrace flanks the boulevard. Low archways, three on each side, are built into the terraced walls. These archways are in various stages of collapse, and are the tunnels beyond them, as are the tunnels beyond them. Beautifully carved larger-than-life stone faces are mounted between the arches. A wild profusion of plant grows on the upper terraces, and multicolored parrots and canaries flit and sing amongst them. To the north, a dilapidated brick dome rises above the Tyrannosaurus's head waterspout. Smaller bell-shaped domes surmount the highest terraces to your left and right. So in the water, you do instantly notice a few crocodiles, it would seem.
Okay, so where again was the tree lines?
So we were right around that area, is that right?
Yeah, and the water does seem to contain some crocs.
Okay, so we gotta get from point A to point
south,
B.
then. Okay, interesting.
Hmm. And with the loud noise of crocs, there's also cars in the background. Weird mechanical contraptions.
From our vantage point now, looking into the city or the ruins, can we see any black orchids?
Difficult. No.
Okay.
What is that?
So, you see over there is one of those large faces, though, okay, so, let's see, yeah. A bell-shaped dome of sculpted stone rises from the end of each upper walkway. The dome to the east is beginning to crumble with age. The one to the west is wrapped and draped with thick webs.
Spiders.
Yeah.
We'll go to the right.
Sorry, what's that? You're going to the right-hand side.
We should go to the right-hand side. But how do we get across this alligator moat?
So, Druid, I will allow a animal handling check.
Okay.
Tame the crocodiles.
Ride them into glorious Oh, no.
No.
So,
Oh,
you, in your very wide experience, believe you should actually swim with the crocodiles. If you were to go on a boat, that would provoke an attack from them. But you believe you should instead swim through them, act like a crocodile, and that will make sure you are not attacked. Why would a crocodile attack another crocodile? That's not in their nature at all. You will absolutely advise the team this way.
I look at Brightheart to see if she's feeling okay.
She completely believes this to be the truth.
It's not a chance I'm worth taking.
Yeah, I'm not taking it. I'm used to sea creatures and so forth like that, like especially predators.
Yeah, but she is a druid, and they completely tamed those bonobos like a snap of the finger. But Brightheart, you can roleplay this differently if you like.
Can I roll an animal handling check?
I feel like I would be more afraid of them.
You might be afraid, yes, but that roll just says to me, you believe swimming and hugging and really nuzzling against these crocodiles is the best way of moving through them. That's what you currently believe.
Perhaps you could show us a demonstration.
Yeah, you feel confident you could do that.
I guess I'll wild shape into a crocodile then.
Can you?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm going to
Can you now?
I think. Let me check.
Yeah, maybe you can.
You can swim us across.
But you can't turn into a creature with a swim speed. That should be of note.
Yeah, that's next level. Never mind.
Don't we have our canoes? That could always be an option.
I'm going to.
Yeah, but why would you do that? You could just swim with them, and they won't get any attack on you.
Okay, fine. Hop into the water.
I'm going to stop her from doing that. I'm probably bigger than her.
I mean, you could do yeah, I mean, your friend's like, what the hell, man? Sort of thing. Look, it's super simple. Just swim with the crocodiles. I know it's apprehensive, but listen, I'm scared too, but they respect it. When I'm just going to go up there, I'm going to rumble around, make some noises. They're going to think I'm another croc too. It's totally fine. But Dralian is stronger, so he will stop you.
I'm just doing it for your good. These things will not let you swim with them.
Now, Mr. Dralian, I will have an animal handling check.
I really think they want me to swim with them.
What about Volo's guide while they're doing this?
Brilliant!
There's lots of trees around. Could we balance one across?
Well, the nearest point of crossing could be where you are, and that would be a point of, like, 20 feet. So you would require, like, the jump spell to help you cross that.
No, I mean, if we knock a tree down, could we balance it across and use it as a bridge?
Maybe. That seems like a good idea. Well, just so I've said, with the animal handling check, you stop her, but then you're like, they are a druid. They do know what they're talking about, and they're really confident. Maybe I should just believe them. Maybe I should stop being a pussy. Pardon me. But the idea of chopping down a tree might for sure be very possible. And it is possible to chop down this log and do exactly that. What are you drawing boxes for?
Canoes, right?
You do.
We could just tie them up and make a walkway bridge.
Yeah, that'd be easier actually.
And just walk across our canoes.
Okay. Sure. So, one canoe is actually long enough to cover this, would you believe? And you forward it out over here, and yeah, for sure, you have no trouble getting across with your little canoe. And you tie it across like these two trees, and you make it to the other side.
Yeah, I'll use my rope to kind of secure them.
Just reading some stuff. So this is area 1 then. Hang on. The four stone visagers staring across the avenue between the walkway portray a regal woman. Ah, yeah, so these faces portray a regal woman at each corner. Sorry, yeah, okay. Well, you're not over there, so... Huh. Doesn't matter. Anyway, from where you are... difficult time. Difficult reading things up. Trying to find things. That's area 3. Oh wait, that is area 2. Thank you. Damn. Right, so yeah, untamed overgrowth can't hide the fact that this garden is a haven for exotic plants that don't grow naturally in the surrounding jungle. Unfamiliar flowers, towering ferns, and even stranger plants resembling giant pine cones or lily pads spread and tangle everywhere. Bright canaries flit between them, and parrots and beaks squawk at you. Yeah. Haha. Looking. So when you. So who has a perception score of anything above 12?
I do.
Okay. So when you get close enough, you so coiled, hidden around some of these plants, as you come across, you are surprised by a few bizarre looking creatures. Zombie. Yeah, these crazy looking zombies seem to have plants growing from them and with them.
They're kind of cute.
They're kind of cute. Not the grungs, we hate the fucking grungs. But yeah, they seem to follow along with this yellow musk creeper plant. Oh god, this is actually my fucking nightmare. So, do you guys know the Last of Us game?
Yes. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
And Little Shop of Horrors. Do you know of that?
Yes.
So, I'm fucking petrified of the idea of plants doing anything with people in this way. Yeah, that is actually a little personal phobia of mine.
Let's kill him. Let's kill him dead.
Yeah.
Or re-dead.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, these dudes come up, and now I will have you guys roll initiative, but we'll also leave it here once we have it. Oh, hang on. Nope, stop. Okay, there we go. We'll restart that. You guys, however, are fortunately not surprised. Okay, yeah. Now that we have initiative organized, we will leave this session here, and yeah. We'll get right into combat next session.
Very cool. Thanks, man.
Oh, no worries. Just need to... Yep, I will just stop the recording here.